Now, I like to go hard in a motherfucker as much as the next guy, but I do know my limits. Man suffered brain hemorrhage after drinking 25 cans of energy drink in 6 hours. Legend. Father of 3 who nearly died after drinking 25 energy drinks in 6 hours has called on them to be banned. You can't just ban stuff because you're an idiot. Oh, I've drunk 10 litres of water in an hour and I died. Let's ban water. Nick Mitchell suffered a brain hemorrhage and 3 mini strokes after downing Monster and Red Bull cans whilst running a karaoke evening in a sweltering club. The 56-year-old from West Yorkshire said, "These drinks nearly killed me. I was so close to death and I thought that I might not make it through the surgery. They should not be sold. They're as bad as drugs. They should be banned." After getting home from his karaoke night, Nick started to feel pains in his heart and was eventually rushed to Dewsbury Hospital, where doctors confirmed he had a bleed on the brain caused by a caffeine overdose. Ledge. Over the next week, he had 3 mini strokes and says he is still affected to this day as he has trouble speaking and pronouncing words. Ledge. Nick's night of high-energy drink hell happened 8 years ago, but he wanted to tell his tale to stop youngsters being addicted to them. There's a difference between being addicted to them and slinging 25 of them down your neck in one go. That's a deranged binge. That's Oliver Reed levels of liquid abuse. 25 cans, that's the equivalent of 10 pints. What can you drink 10 pints of in 6 hours that's not going to land you in hospital? Unless you mean, mate, I'll drink 10 pints run a fucking mile. Ledge. Lads. With hindsight, it was foolish to drink that many, but I'd no idea they were that dangerous. I'm just glad I'm still here to tell the tale. I've never had one since. Yeah, no shit. It felt like someone had cracked my head open with a sledgehammer. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. I've had migraines in the past, but this didn't compare. The pain was off the scale. The European Food Safety Agency has stated that caffeine intake of up to 400 ml a day or 5 cups of coffee does not raise safety concerns for the general healthy adult population. But for all you dribbling morons out there, sling 25 cans of Red Bull down your neck in one go and see what happens.
Let me hold you, go caress my body. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, turn me on. Let me...
Meet the Vagina Witch, who uses massage wands to teach women how to improve their sex lives. Now, I don't want to take all my news from the Metro, but they are a fairly hilarious rabbit hole of total bollocks. This is Maria Halstead. She's a self-proclaimed vagina witch who has dedicated her life to helping women improve their sex lives via meditation. Courtney, 31, thought she was called Maria. Oh, Courtney Maria Halstead. Who writes this? Miranda Larby. Get your shit together. Courtney, 31, says she was drawn to the world of witchcraft as a child and spent her 20s studying yoni yoga in India. She now lives in Melbourne and has taken bits of what she learnt in the yogi practice to develop a career teaching women how to harness the power of their pelvis. Operating mainly through Skype, probably a good idea as I'm imagining the smell of a self-proclaimed vagina witch is best kept at a distance. Now, I'm not saying a dick wizard is going to smell any better. Courtney also uses massage wands. Right, that's not a massage wand, that's a kosh. That would be better in the hands of a Bolshevik prison guard beating a forced confession out of some poor starving kulak. That's made out of jade. How cold is that going to be? Massage wand, do me a favour.
It's about looking within and freeing yourself through sex and consciousness,
she says.
Some of the work I do with women is like yoni yoga. I teach how a woman's body is a temple and can increase the sensitivity of the vagina. Sometimes this involves using a jade yoni wand,
a kosh. That, she says, is used to open up the numb areas in the vagina, similar to releasing a muscular knot.
One of the practices is the meditation activation process. This involves learning about the different orgasmic points of the vagina to heighten pleasure.
Courtney has spent years studying mystic healing in Europe, South America, North Africa and Southeast Asia, and says it's time she got a real job. Oh no. And says she has clients all over the world from ages spanning 20 to 70. She doesn't actually cast spells. Well, she's not a witch then, is she? Don't feed me this vagina witch bullshit and then tell me you're not going to cast any spells. Where's your black cat? Where's your cauldron? Get a grip. She says she doesn't actually cast spells, at least not right now, but rather stages magical rituals like yoni yoga and vagina massage. It's not magic, is it? It's just sticking a kosh up there. Which is fine, you know, crack on, but like, don't pretend it's magic and then charge people for it. Fuck's sake.
So like, I've been trying to sleep for like 3, maybe 4 minutes, and I can't. And I guess I've literally got like, literally insomnia. And I think it's because like, I've been feeling really oppressed recently. These people that I didn't even know were sending me like tweets about the last Coffee and Memes episode and saying really nasty, mean, triggering things. Like one person said that I looked like a wayward egg, and another person said that I looked like a disparaged potato, and I don't even understand what that means. And someone else said like that I looked like a butternut squash that had dropped out of art school, and I don't understand why all the like vegetable comparisons, like super offensive and triggering, and like these words are violence, and it's wrong to violence me about vegetables. And like, I'm having a hard enough time as it is, okay? Like, I had finished my PT session yesterday and I was really tired, like actually tired, and I was then going to the spa, and as I got into the spa I could hear a man, and he was saying that he had voted for the Conservatives, and I just had to go to the toilet and cry. And I cried for an hour at least. And so I don't need these vegetable violence tweets suppressing my rights. It's offensivizing to me, and it's illegal. These vegetables are illegal.
There are many terrible, terrible things going on in this cruel world, but few as hideous as this. Emotional support Peacock banned from United Airlines plane. A female traveller was recently banned from taking a large emotional support peacock on board a United Airlines flight, it has emerged. She had offered to buy the bird its own plane ticket, according to travel blog Live and Let Fly. Nonetheless, the airline refused to let the bird on board at Newark Airport in New Jersey, saying it did not meet guidelines due to its weight and size, and the fact that it's a fucking peacock. After 6 hours at the airport, the exotic bird and its human companions decided to take to the road and instead drive across the US. The peacock, reportedly called Dexter, belongs to a Brooklyn-based artist, Ventico, who documents its life on social media. I bet she fucking does. I've never left the house without having at least one person react, Vendico told the local culture website in 2017. Yeah, I bet they react, because you're out walking a peacock like an absolute dickhead. The artist, whose real name is not known, oh fuck off, told Bedford and Bowery that the feathery giant really changed my life in a positive way. She originally bought Dexter and a peahen called Etta for an art installation. Cool, nice reason to buy animals. She later found them a new home from which Etta and her offspring disappeared. Even your peacocks are fed up with your bullshit. The loss affected Dexter's behaviour, and Ventico came to his rescue after hearing that the bird was housed in a garage. Fuck's sake. Following a failed stint in an upstate New York farm, Ventico finally decided to welcome Dexter into her Brunswick loft, the natural home of the peacock. Now involved in her photography and performance art, the exotic bird appears to enjoy his New York life. However, he avoids public transportation like the subway because Ventico doesn't want to traumatise him. Doesn't want to traumatise him by maybe taking him on a 6-hour flight across the country. Peacocks can't fly anyway. Airlines have allowed some passengers with emotional or psychiatric problems. She obviously has some sort of problem. Not a legitimate problem, she's just a bellend. Airlines have allowed some passengers with emotional or psychiatric problems to take their therapy animals on board with them. But the number of emotional support animals has been rising in recent years, sparking suggestions that people are abusing the system. You reckon? In 2014, a woman was escorted off a US Airlines flight when her pig, named Hobie, defecated and squealed before the plane took off. It's nice to know they have policies on squealing. I think that's fair. If you can't control your squealing on a plane, I don't think you should be allowed to fly. Ugh.
I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me.
Pinger News! A Bitcoin millionaire has donated $4 million towards MDMA treating PTSD. Trials will enter phase 3 if enough money is raised. An anonymous Bitcoin millionaire has donated $4 million towards research into MDMA treating post-traumatic stress disorder. This is really, really cool. This is something that they've been testing down in Mexico, because presumably it's easier to get a license to actually test with MDMA. They're giving people with PTSD small amounts of MDMA and using a special form of psychotherapy. They're not giving people gurners and taking them to clubs, although I'm sure that would have its merits. But they're giving them a small amount of MDMA and taking them through a very particular psychotherapy course, and it's having absolutely amazing results. Really, really good if you're a PTSD sufferer, and also it's likely to save governments millions and millions and millions of dollars and pounds that they would otherwise spend on trying to rehabilitate PTSD sufferers, either if they're, survivors of sexual assault or veterans, or, you can get PTSD from a lot of things. The Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, or MAPS, is undertaking the research, but in order to receive the $4 million, MAPS will have to raise the same amount before March 10th. If the money is raised, clinical trials would enter phase 3 testing, having been granted breakthrough status by the Food and Drug Administration. Studies have shown that magic mushrooms could treat depression, while ketamine trials aimed at treating the illness have been branded incredibly effective. Pingers for PTSD. Great work, pingers. If you are enjoying these, help me out by smashing the granny out of the subscribe button. Give us a like, tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your social worker. It's all love, baby.